Here it is, main event, Stylebender taking on, what's his name? What's his name? Oh, the Soldier of God. The Soldier of God. Yoel. Now I was trying to think. The People's Champion. Soldier of God. The People Champ. Yeah. I mean, how many title shots is Yoel Romero going to get and fail? I mean, come on. I'm a huge fan of Yoel Romero. Somebody put on Twitter the other day, oh, why do you hate Yoel? I'm like, hate? Why do I fucking hate Yoel Romero? I don't hate him at all. There was a rivalry when I was champion and he was a contender and he was talking shit. Yeah, a bit of healthy competitiveness, but that's all it was. I'm retired now.
When you see him,
I don't hate anyone.
When you see him backstage now, do you guys say what's up, or you not really see him?
It hasn't happened yet. So like, I'm here. I'm saying this, but I might still get stamped if I go to Miami, because I remember when that whole thing happened, I got a fucking lot of shit. So I'm like, here's me in my mind. Hey, what's up, bro? It's all good. Hey. And I woke up, he's like, fuck you, boy. And fucking cracks me one in the face. You never know.
Well, that'd be the worst day in his life. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, God, absolutely. Jeez Louise, bro.
Ooh, daddy.
Yeah. Go on.
I was going to just trash your bicep. We got to go.
Yeah, no. So listen, Yoel, let's talk about the fight. Well, let's talk about Isreal Adesanya first as well before we actually break it down. Yoel can do whatever he wants. He's very, very explosive. He can choose where the fight goes. He can keep it on the feet. He's got knockout power. He's not the most technical striker, but he's very effective. But the threat of the takedown is always there. And was it a bronze medal? I think he got a bronze medal at the Sydney Olympics. So, he's one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. And contrary to popular belief, he doesn't really gas. He's been 5 rounds many times, but he's always come short on the title fights. And as I said before, I think at some point, it's a game of numbers. It's an odds game. At some point, he's going to win one. The thing about Yoel, he does have one punch knockout power, or flying knee knockout power, or kick, whatever it is. He has the power to take you out with one shot. That always makes him dangerous.
Yeah, he does, and we've seen it happen a few times now. A lot of those TKOs and KOs, I'm looking at his record right now, are coming in the 3rd round. Luke Rockhold, 3rd round. Chris Weidman, 3rd round. Lyoto Machida, 3rd round knockout. Tim Kennedy, 3rd round. So, yeah, he's very explosive all throughout the fight. Yeah, man, I think Yoel's great. I think he's super exciting. I think he... I think he could definitely win this fight. It's once again just kind of a tough pill to swallow. Coming off 2 losses, why did Paulo Costa not take a title fight? What happened there? I don't.
He had an injury.
Oh, he was injured.
He had an injury. If I think he might have had arm surgery or something like that. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah, he was injured, so he was out. And listen, come on, it's a great fight. Oh, also, Adesanya called Yoel out. He said, "I want to fight him before he retires. I want that name on my resume." So you got to respect that. Remember the face-off in Houston?
Yeah,
the Jones-Reyes fight. It turned into a bit of a dance-off. So Yoel won that. Fair, come on. He's won up so far. I wonder how that's going to affect things, because he's a showman. He's great. And the dancing is his thing. His last fight against Whitaker, he came out, did that fucking awesome dance with his cornerman and stuff, which it was cool. Whether you love it or hate it, it was fucking cool and it was nicely executed. Memorable. Very memorable. But Yoel put him to shame. Yeah. In skinny jeans. Skinnier than the jeans I'm wearing right now. Yeah. And he just stands there without a warm-up and does a standing backflip. That's
Yoel had an easier time doing a standing backflip than you had taking off a Vessi footwear shoe. It was crazy. It's
true. Yeah. No, I am not known for my flexibility. Yeah. Right? You Google me, strengths. Flexibility is not one of them. Okay, that's a fact. He just stood there with skinny jeans and just backflip like that. That's how explosive this man is. All right, Isreal Adesanya. I said I was going to talk about it before, then I got into Yoel. Izzy came to this sport very, very confident, huge kickboxing background, and he's just had a meteoric rise. I think he said at one point it was important to him that he got to the title faster than Conor McGregor did. That was a record that he wanted to beat. I'm not sure if he's done that. I don't have a computer in front of me, but
it's kind of a weird. It was kind of a weird thing. I don't know that you should be concerned with beating somebody else to a title faster. It's a weird focus.
I don't know if it's weird. I kind of like it. In fact, he's like, I want to go up through the rankings quick. I want to fight, and he did fight. Remember, he was fighting like every few months. You know, he was going through the rankings quickly, taking on consistently harder and harder opponents, and that was good for him because when you look at him, you think it's easy. The game plan against him is easy. Start with the hands, get on the inside, take him down. There you go. But he's fought decent wrestlers now, and he's with every camp. Because that is the obvious game plan. With every camp, you get a little bit better. The more time you're in training camp, the more gains you make in terms of skill. And the more he's worked on his takedown defense. And now it's paying dividends. Gastelum couldn't get close to a takedown. He's a decent wrestler. I think Gastelum got him down for a minute, but he got back up pretty quick. So against Yoel, it all depends for Yoel what he decides to do. Because Yoel doesn't really use wrestling too much. The reason being, it's fucking hard. It is hard to wrestle somebody for that amount of time, Lewis. I mean, I know you're an undefeated mixed martial artist yourself, but how do you feel about the wrestling things these days?
I mean, I'm really more of an expert striker, jiu-jitsu guy, but look, Romero, I don't know, right? So if Romero just committed to taking him down, said, I'm going to commit to taking him, I'm going to mix it up, but I'm getting him down, I would have to believe that he could get him down. But Isreal Adesanya has crazy takedown defense. I'm looking at these numbers. And once again, Harrington, thank you very much for putting this together because these are great notes. But yeah, Israel's not super easy to take down. And to be honest with you, his striking output is really, really high. And Romero gets hit. So it's like, it's actually a really great matchup when you look at sort of like a stylistic matchup, because it sort of depends on what Romero does and then how much Israel's able to sort of get through that. Because if after a round or two, Romero can't get him down, Israel should be able to just pick him apart on the feet fairly easily.
Yeah, well, number one is, that's what he does. He's a tremendous kickboxer. That's his bread and butter. That's his background. But he's so much taller as well.
Yeah.
When you saw them square up, he's quite a bit significant taller. When I first met Israel,
reach advantage.
faced him, 7-inch reach advantage, very significant, as Shannon will be able to tell you. Sorry, Shannon. I was trying to think of some penis-related joke. Sorry, and I went there. As you said, if you can't get him down, number one, he's going to get past those strikes. And that's what Israel does. And also, he pivots very well. Anytime somebody comes in, he pivots well and steps up on the angle, and then you're gone. You're not there. And if Yoel can't get him down in the first couple of rounds, then you're going to stop trying to take him down. But the thing that Yoel does, he lulls his opponents into a false sense of security. He kind of slows down the fight. You stand there, you see him. He just kind of stands there and he plods and he waits and he waits. And, your opponent starts thinking, oh, this is going to be a slow fight. And then boom, he just jumps up in the air with a flying knee or some tremendous fucking overhand swinging left hook that will take your fucking head clean off. So again, if you look back, I was going to say it's a great fight again, but if you look at Robert Whittaker against Isreal Adesanya, Whittaker couldn't do anything. He couldn't even get on the inside. It wasn't the best performance from Whittaker, granted. Love Robert Whittaker, but it wasn't a good night at the office. But if that Gastelum show, fuck me. If that Adesanya shows up, then he's going to have a pretty easy night at the office, I think.
Yeah, well, look, Whittaker doesn't have the type of takedowns or power that Yoel Romero has. So I think that it's even though Whittaker did beat Romero, that was super, super close. That's the thing. You look at Romero, when you look at those two losses against Costa and Whittaker, those are also extremely close fights. The Whittaker decision was a split decision. The Costa fight was really close. So the absolute best in the division, Romero has. When you fight that close of a fight, I say you pass the test. You didn't win, but you still passed the test. A split decision against the champion, that means something to me. And his skill set, in my opinion, is a little better matched up against Isreal Adesanya. So, I don't think that you can sort of look at that common opponent, and I don't really think it says much. He's got Whittaker, who's not as good of a striker as Adesanya, who doesn't really have the ability to take him down. The other factor as well, because I know that Adesanya's never been beaten, he was knocked out in a kickboxing match. I don't know what that means. Yeah. I don't know what that means. I don't know how much that's going to relate to this, but it's not like he's got an iron chin. He's never been put down. He can be knocked out, and Yoel Romero does knock people the fuck out.
Yoel does knock people out, and Israel has been knocked out. It's a very, very valid point. I was just going to say, going back to Romero for a second, you just mentioned, that war with Paulo Costa, the 2 wars with Robert Whittaker. When you go through that amount, those types of wars, that takes, it takes mileage. It puts mileage on the clock. It takes time off the length of your career. It really does. You know what I mean? You don't have that many wars. Israel's last fight was a nice, dominant, quick, early stoppage of Robert Whittaker, whereas Romero, he's 42 years old and he's going through fucking tough battles. Those 2 fights with Robert Whittaker, you know what I mean? You take a piece of your soul or you leave it in the octagon. You know what I mean? You're not the same fighter after you go through those. So you want to try and avoid those as much as possible. And Romero seems to find himself more and more often in those types of fights. So you got to think that you're going to favor Adesanya coming into this. You do, but still, as I said, and we were joking, but Romero's had a lot of title fights, right? And it's just a game of numbers because he's good. He's very good. He's explosive. He's fast. He's experienced. He's gonna pull it off at some point, and all he's got to do is connect with one good shot. That's what makes this so exciting. Honestly, I could see a stoppage for Adesanya in the later rounds. I don't see him stopping him early. I really don't. Romero's, I think he's only been stopped once in Strikeforce early in his career.
Yeah.
I don't see Adesanya stopping him early, but for Romero, come on, man. He can stop anybody with one shot throughout the entire 25 minutes.
Yeah, and am I not wrong with the Isreal versus Whittaker fight and the Gastelum fight? He did get pieced up a couple times in those fights.
Who?
Isreal.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Against Gastelum, he
lost a round, I believe.
Yeah, no, he did, and he got dropped where he got caught with a big head kick. His face was swollen. I can see it in my head right now. Just his image, his face was a little distorted because it was all swollen and shit like that. No shame on that. That's what happened. So yeah, he has been in wars, but less wars than Romero. So I don't know. It's just an exciting fight. I can't wait for it. Really, really excited. Put your money where your mouth is, Lewis. Who wins and why and how?
I think I'm going to actually put real money on Romero on BetDSI because I like the odds that they have. But that's just based off of gambling and just because I think it's a closer fight than the odds makers are giving it credit for. I think Izzy is like a 3-1 favorite. Romero is minus 207 or something like that, or plus 207. So I think just for a money make, I would put it very, very much closer odds. I would say I would slightly favor Isreal, but just very slightly. And it's based off of the Gastelum fight. Okay, I think Romero is a more explosive. He's a better closer than Gastelum, and I think a better wrestler as well. I think that there's something about that. If Gastelum could hit Izzy and can hurt him, then if Romero lands those shots, it could happen. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're probably seeing the rise of Israel Adesanya right now. I think he's a pretty special athlete, but you never know. You can never say never.